So good afternoon or good morning if you're still on the West Coast, and good evening if you're somewhere else in the world. I'm lucky today to have a very special guest. This is Shailene Todd Unlow. She's a director of sales and marketing for Moskito Island. So Shailene, I think everybody was waiting for this webinar to see the updates, and you have many. So the screen is yours.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to speak with you. I'll start by telling you just a little bit about myself. My name is Shailene Todd Enlow. I was born in Canada, Ottawa, Canada, and I was convinced from a very young age that that was a very big mistake. I was not meant to live in snow. I knew I was supposed to live in sunshine. I went to university in that same cold weather and got a job in technology sales, and then got really lucky. And for the past 15 years, I've had the pleasure of living in the Caribbean. I started in Belize, moved to the British Virgin Islands, then to St. Lucia, and have just recently, as much as 2 months ago, moved back to the BVI to join the Moskito team. Now, when I was interviewing with the CEO, I had the very important message to convey to him that I was going to need to stay on the island and stay in each of the estates to really get an understanding of, what it was I was selling. And even though he knew it would be hard, he agreed. And so I've literally spent the past 30 days on Moskito and have just kind of landed in my own new home here. So for these 30 days, like I said, I stayed in each of these estates and I stayed in a lot of the different bedrooms. Mm-hmm. And I had you in mind. I knew through Dominic that I would have the opportunity to give this webinar. And I knew that you guys have big portfolios, that you're very familiar with a lot of luxury villas and a lot of luxury hotels worldwide. And that it was my job to figure out in these 30 days what was so important, what was so different about Moskito. Why should you trust your clients to us? And so I'm going to paint a picture for you, and this is a true story. I'm sitting in a hot tub, just myself, okay? And I'm looking at this absolutely extraordinary sunset, kind of like the one behind me. And only sunsets like this exist in the BVI. I rival anybody to show me a place that doesn't have sunsets like the BVI or has sunsets better. So I'm sitting in this hot tub. I've got a glass of Sauvignon Blanc in my hand. My chef has gone home. My housekeeper has gone home. I'm looking at this sunset. There's a fire blazing on the horizon. And I'm asking myself these important questions for you guys. Why does Moskito exist? What is it that we really do here? Why are these homes so elaborate? Why do they have all these bells and whistles, knowing that the homeowners can only come to them a couple of times a year? And mostly, why are they renting them out when they certainly don't need the money? And so I'm thinking to myself, and I'm really grappling with these questions, knowing that you need to know this answer. Why Moskito? And it occurs to me over the past 10 years, I've had quite a few conversations with other ladies my age, other women who are, well, for example, really recently I was speaking with an emergency room doctor, and she literally saves lives on a daily basis. People come into the emergency room and she is like overnight saving lives. I have another friend who is a pro bono lawyer, and she helps people from being deported and helps women who were abused work through their divorce. And I find myself over these past 10 years saying things to them like, well, at least you go to bed at night knowing you made a difference. At least you know that your life has a purpose. And what I'm not saying to them out loud is, and all I do is sell vacations. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to sell technology in the cold, and now I'm selling sunshine. So I love it. It's great for me. But what I'm subliminally saying is, what's the point in what I do? And so sitting in this hot tub, looking at this sunset, being at Moskito, all of a sudden it hits me like a ton of bricks. We might not be saving lives. We might not be stopping deportation. We might not be stopping anything bad at all. But what we are doing, and I mean you too, because not only is it my purpose and Moskito's purpose, but it's also yours. What we're doing is creating opportunities for people to spend time together. And there's nothing more important than that. I think if each one of us were told tomorrow, you only have 1 week to live, you're going to die, we'd probably all do pretty much the same thing, which is gather our friends and family together and make memories that would last beyond us. And that's what Moskito taught me. And that's what I hope you take away today. That's what we do that is so unique. And it just so happens but you get to do it in the most extraordinary homes on the planet.
Oh,
So,
I was not prepared for your speech. Look how emotional.
well, I'm very excited to share my screen with you here. It obviously, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can see it, Dom?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to go through the slides here, and obviously I'm going to show you these estates, and I'm going to show you the island, and I'm going to tell you, you know, the product details that you need to know. But what's important is that you realize there's absolutely no way you can retain all of this information. It took me 30 days, and I still, you know, it's a lot to learn because these estates are so unique. Each of them created by their homeowner for their own family and friends to come together and gather. And that's why they're so special. That's why they're so different from each other. And what I want you to take away is that at any point, when you have a group, so you think as we go through these slides, you think of your families, you think of your clients who are business owners who might want to get their team together for team building. You think of a group of friends that you have who maybe wants to celebrate an anniversary or a second wedding or something like that. As we're going through these slides, look at these spaces and try and imagine them there. And then when somebody comes to you with a request for a group, because it is important that it's the time together piece that matters. These homes were really designed for groups. You come to me or you come to Dominic, and we're going to be able to kind of play matchmaker for you with your group to the estate. You tell us who they are, what's important to them, and we're going to match you to the home that is the best fit, where they'll have time together, which is life's greatest luxury. So, welcome to Oasis. Oasis is modeled like a super yacht, really. It sits really, really high up on the island and has, as a result, the most expansive view of the stars. There's a big telescope at the top of the home, and I mean, the moon from this home is, you know, unrivaled. The very top level of this super yacht is built like a deck meant to either sun yourself or have yoga or a big cocktail event up there. And the whole home is kind of designed for, I would say, like an ideal wellness retreat or something like that, a corporate event even. So you walk in, it's all open air like this, and all throughout the home there are spaces to sit and to gather as long, you know, as big groups of people. So this is the main dining area, but there's some on every level. On the second level here, this is like a private sports bar area where people can just sit and watch the game. Oasis has an amazing gym, you know, with Peloton equipment, which is where that wellness aspect comes in. There's also a cold plunge pool here. Top level, all connected by elevator, which can be really important to some. This is the primary suite. I had the pleasure of staying here, really expansive deck, absolutely stunning, and what I like to say, shea tested and certified bathtub, with extraordinary views, a really beautiful ensuite out the back. And then each of the suites at Oasis, and it's important when we talk about Moskito that we recognize we're saying the word estate. It's not a villa. These are estates. They're quite elaborate and quite large. All of them range. This one, for example, is 11 suites. And when we say the word suites, we really mean bedrooms, but they're more than just a bedroom. So all the suites at Oasis have a private seating area. In that seating area, there's a Tempur-Pedic sofa bed, as well as a full ensuite and a wet bar with microwave and stuff. So you can see this would even be ideal if you had parents and children in the same space. All of them have extraordinary views. Some of them are even down on the pool level, which is quite extraordinary. These are called the pool villas at Oasis. It's worth noting that we're building 2 more suites at Oasis. So by the end of 2024, there will actually be 13. So 26 at double occupancy and much, much higher when you include all of those additional sleeper couches and beds. You can see this shot of the pool over here. You've got a jacuzzi area that all bubbles up at night. You've got this sunken bar, swim up bar, and then 2 unique fire pits actually at Oasis as well. So I love to think of Oasis for multi-gen families because of that elevator. If there's somebody older in the group, that can be really important, as well as, like I said, corporate events, wellness retreats, just because of a lot of the little perks that it has. This is the point, and arguably one of my favorite photos of all of Moskito, mostly because that hot tub I was telling you about at the beginning was right here, and that was that flame that I was describing. This was that sunset, you know, so just you know now that I wasn't exaggerating. When I stayed in the point, it occurred to me that it is possibly best suited to a group of friends. And the reason that I say that is when you look at this great room, this is kind of the heart of the point estate, and I can kind of visualize that if you had, you know, maybe early 40s group of friends, maybe even considering a hotel or resort somewhere where they're all going to get their own hotel room, but then get together for water sports and meals. The point can be a really great option for that, because the suites themselves are quite separated and all of them have their own space, but then this great space is just awesome for you know, playing pool, playing ping pong and foosball. Like you can see here, just, you know, this is all in that one open room. There's just so much to do, and for people to hang out together. Like all of the estates, there are definitely a multitude of places that you can dine, but at the point, this is one of my favorites. They actually put the table in the very shallow end of the pool. We'll often get a saxophone player who plays along the edge there. And I mean, those sunsets, that you can imagine how spectacular an evening is for this. We've actually had a wedding similar to this, a small wedding that was stunning. That's the dining pavilion down on the lowest level of the point there. Each of the suites, this is the master or primary, as I'm trying to train myself to call it. You know, this is a 2-level primary. On the top, there's a gorgeous little seating area, crow's nest, and then over in the corner, as with all the suites at Moskito, you do have that full wet bar, private espresso machine, wine fridge. And then this is out back of that primary suite where you've got an indoor-outdoor shower and a private jacuzzi. All of the suites have stunning views, have their own en-suites. This one, interestingly, not only does it have an outdoor shower, but this area in the back has what we call a loo with a view. And I'll just leave you to wonder what we mean by that. This here is the bunk room, and both the Point and Cape of Stout, which we'll get to in a minute, have a bunk room, ideally suited for children. This one can take up to 8 children. It's not counted as a suite when you go to rent it, but you can always add it on. Yeah, so like I said, 8 children and or 8 42-year-old women who like to hang out with their girlfriends. One of the very, very unique things about the Point is that it has direct beach access. And when that's important to some of your clients, you know, some love the sand and some don't. But for the Point, this is a really unique aspect in that it's just this shot of stairs down right to Manchineal Beach, which is all right here. And so this is the Point here. You just take those stairs down and you're right on the main beach where, you know, we often will host like a lobster dinner that turns into a bonfire late in the evening. This is the Village. Now, if I'm thinking of the Village and what kind of client would fit best here, I'm thinking of people who love to party. So this place is really made for a party. You know, any of your clients in the entertainment industry looking, you know, to have, you know, maybe wind down after Fashion Week or something, or if you have a group that is celebrating a big milestone, so a 60th birthday or something like that. I'm going to show you some of the features in the Village that are really unique and kind of like made to have a good time. You can tell this is as you enter the Village. This right here, this bright part, that's actually the staircase that lights up at night. A lot of the Village lighting is incredible. It's a spiral staircase that takes you right to the top, where again, beautiful sunsets. This actually faces west, so the sunsets of the Village are arguably even better than the Point. Don't tell them I said that, but you know, it's a tough call. This is the great room here. Again, lots of games, just meant to pick up and play. You find yourself in the same space and you kind of just relax together. Lots of great dining space over here. You've got the big bar area. I should mention here that all of our estates come fully staffed. So depending on the size of the group, anywhere from 15 to 20 private staff are dedicated to the estate. You have an estate manager who will coordinate the entire itinerary with your primary principal person before they come, get all the preferences. You've got guest services, you have a private chef, bartenders, housekeepers. Your groups will be very well looked after. At the village, there's a large pool that's actually 2 levels. They are connected by a water slide. That's point 1 on the party. There is also an underground grotto at the village. So it's like you kind of go under the pool, and the wall leading down to that grotto cave under the pool is actually a reconstruction from a building in Devon, where the homeowner is from. So very sentimental to him, an absolutely stunning feature inside the home. You can see there's a jacuzzi here as well with this sunken bar over here. This is one of the great dining spaces. It's actually inside the home. What I love about this dining space at the village is those doors close. So it can become very intimate and feel very, very, yeah, like kind of closed in. Or you can open them up and you can watch the chef create his sushi, which I can tell you from personal experience is amazing. The homeowner of the village actually just poached the best chef in the BVI from Coco Maya, which is probably the best restaurant in the BVI, and we now have them all to ourselves for your clients. Another gorgeous dining space here. It's worth noting that this homeowner is from California, has a sommelier there, and has curated a wine cellar here. So all food and beverage is included in your stay at Moskito. And that comes with a variety of really good wines. But of course, there are those with exquisite taste, and for them, they can always upgrade from the cellar at an additional cost. Evenings spent at the fire pit. This is sunken into the pool. You can't see it in the pool pictures, but it actually sits in the pool and is surrounded by water. So absolutely extraordinary feature. Movie nights in the cinema, surround sound, absolutely amazing. I stayed in this primary bedroom as well. You know, absolutely stunning. Doors open all the way around in this round building. You'll see this bathtub in the back here. The water actually fills from the ceiling down, which is really incredible, and just a testament to all those little touches that are kind of extraordinary and unheard of elsewhere. Up top here, a private seating area, espresso machine, a wet bar. But all of the suites at the village have their own seating area, have their own stunning views, and really have that kind of Balinese treetop vibe to them, and a lot of privacy. 2 of them do have a separate sleeper bed area if somebody has smaller children or something like that. Gorgeous en-suites as well. Ta-da! The final party piece. So this DJ booth actually comes out of the ground. So after dinner, you know, when the party's about to get started, this raises up, all the lights start going. The lighting and sound in this villa is incredible, or in this estate is incredible. You've actually got smoke machines billowing. You have a disco ball shark that drops down. And this is all just by that pool area that you saw earlier with the fire pit going. You can imagine it's kind of extraordinary. And so, like I say, made for a party. Now, last but not least, and I am so excited to show you this because it's really a sneak peek. Nobody has stayed at Cape Stout except for me and the homeowner. So Cape Stout actually just became available for rent on April 1st. So soon that we haven't had a chance to do the photo shoot yet. That all happens at the end of April. We'll get our lifestyle and estate photography done for you, and I will upgrade this presentation. But for now, it was important to me that using a drone, construction drone photos, as well as my own iPhone, that you get a little taste of what it's like. And so Cape Stout was really kind of modeled after a mini hillside village. If you think of, you know, like in Italy and in the Caribbean, when you have hillside towns, you know, that are so colorful, that's really what inspired this design. And it actually sits lower down on the island than a lot of the other estates that you've seen. So again, shade tested and certified, you can hear the waves hitting the rocks from every single bed in Cape Stout. This pool here is really, really unique. It's actually it turns into a canal that goes under this area here and goes through the home. So you can get into the pool from multiple rooms and multiple places in the home itself, which is really neat. It also leads to a canal bar, which for happy hour with the estate managers, Marcus and Leah, you know, you can have cocktails at. It's a really great, fun little space with a TV again, in case somebody wants to watch the game. This here is a jacuzzi. You've got a swim up bar here. So the pool is one of the main features, but it's only one of 7 at this estate. I'll show you some of the other suites that have their own private pool. This is the guest kitchen. So there is an elaborate chef's kitchen and catering kitchen in back of this estate. That means that parties can be catered without, being obtrusive at all. But if guests did want to make themselves a little breakfast, or this is the breakfast nook here, they're welcome to help themselves in that kitchen there. As you can see, the views from almost every single spot in this estate are stunning. That same breakfast nook is just at the back here. And this is that main great space that we keep talking about, that all these estates kind of have as their signature vibe, which is really just come and gather, little groups, pick up a magazine, have a conversation. Up top of this room is probably my favorite feature of the house. There's like really comfortable couches and a fully stocked bar, and then a record player. And there is a collection of 250 vinyl albums that you can put on, and it just begs that you have dinner, go upstairs afterwards, and have a dance party or a karaoke throwdown. So again, please, the photography does not do justice to the interior design of this village, of this estate. Every single room is so thoughtfully designed and curated. The aesthetic is very eclectic. It's very comfortable, but extremely luxurious. In the back of this room here, you can see that there's a private pool with sun loungers. It actually overlooks a private yoga deck, which is kind of a nod to why I think that Cape Stout is ideally suited to professional athletes. You can imagine, in their downtime after a really good season, they've got their entourage and their family. Cape Stout has a half basketball court, a full gym, and it comes with its own boat, which is very unique to all the other estates. So extensive water sports equipment, water skiing, all of that type of stuff, it comes included in the stay at Cape Stout for 2024. So, and possibly further. So, very, very unique from the other estates in that way. Every single one of the suites is well appointed. You can see this happens over and over in all of the suites, of which there are 7. You've got a fridge, an ice maker, a Smeg coffee machine. The beach barn, which I don't have a picture of, which is the bunk room at Cape Stout, is my dream apartment, basically. This is made for children, but it's just absolutely incredible. It's got this central space with a big couch that goes all the way around, a huge TV, video games, awesome for movie watching, 3 queen beds, 2 doubles, all with cubby holes and stuff. It is just absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for you to see it. The pièce de résistance of this estate, though, I think even more than the boat, is that it's got direct access down to Honeymoon Beach, which really feels like a private beach because this is kind of the only way you can get to it. Steps right down from the house. When the tide is low, absolutely ideal for a daytime picnic or an evening bonfire. So really, and this view of Honeymoon Beach all day long, wherever you are on the estate, is absolutely extraordinary. So that's a quick overview of the estates, as quick as I could manage. I apologize, there's a lot to talk about there. Again, I hope the takeaway that you take is that they're built for groups. It's built for time together, which we consider the ultimate luxury in life. And just wanted to quickly touch on a couple other things about the island and the surrounding area, if you'll indulge me. We are closest to the international airport on Beef Island, Tortola. Airport code EIS. We have 3 flights a day coming in American Airlines direct from Miami. It's a 3-hour flight. You get on a boat. We do up to 3 round-trip airport transfers, because groups often arrive at different times. Up to 3 round-trip transfers included in the rate. You get to Moskito in about 15 minutes with a rum punch in hand. So, from the time you land at the airport to the time you're on Moskito is no time at all, and you're already in vacation mode. Once you're on the island, you've got mokes and golf carts to get around. So each estate has a dedicated fleet of vehicles. Now, we typically don't allow guests to drive them, only because Moskito is made for a really good time, and safety is paramount. So the same staff that cater to your guests the entire time they're there, they will drive them wherever they need to go. There's no waiting for shuttles or anything like that, and they're all kind of doing it in style, which is neat. They can take these vehicles to some of the common spaces on the island, one of which is the beach house. Beach house is an open air building, large TV, a lot of couches, big bar, some private dining spaces at the back here. Beach house comes with its own independent chef. Obviously it's got this infinity pool, jacuzzi right over a beach where you can go snorkeling. So it's a great opportunity for guests to reserve either a full day here or a couple evenings here. When they're planning out their itinerary, it allows them to try out one of the different chefs. At any point during this day, we love to switch things up. And so we do have multiple private chefs on the island. So, just kind of keeping it fresh and sharing those kind of experiences. We'll often even rotate cocktail parties at the estates so people get to see the other ones. So there's lots of other places to go, but Beach House is one of the ones that we definitely recommend, reserving for a couple of different days while you're on island. Then you have Manchineal. Manchineal is our main stretch of beach. It's got loungers all the way down. It's about 600 feet of white sand like that. It's got lots of lawn space with different games like cornhole and beach volleyball, big sand court at the back. And then it's got an outdoor kitchen, again, with a different chef. So if you wanted to have like a daytime barbecue, guests can come down here at any time and use the loungers and use the bar. But if you wanted to have a special event or an evening or a daytime party or something, then we typically coordinate most of that stuff in advance. Of course, in the BVI, it's all about the water sports and the wind. So we have a plethora of kayaks and paddle boards and Hobie cats. We've got sea bobs and e-foils. All of it is included in the stay. Part of that itinerary planning before everybody comes, make sure everybody gets time using all that water sports equipment. And of course, you can always upgrade. The BVI is made up of like 90 islands, and 19 of them are inhabited. And so it's all about island hopping. So getting out to Anegada for the day, or going to Jost Van Dyke or the Willie T. These are all things that we encourage people to do. The surrounding area that we're in is called the North Sound. Some would call it a billionaire's playground. And just lots of great restaurants that are literally like a 3-minute boat ride away. And you can go to Sabre Rock for kite surfing and water sports, and it's all just very close by. It's the really unique thing about the BVI is how much there is to do in the surrounding areas, and most people who come want to experience all of that. Having said that, staying on the estates is quite alluring as well. Of course, we've got personal trainers and opportunities for yoga, both in the estates and in these private spaces. 2 common tennis courts, floodlit at night. We're currently building pickleball because we know that is super important for multi-gen families. And then I just wanted to end quickly with a view of the island. You can, now that you're familiar with some of the estates a little bit, you got the point over here, you've got the village over here, Oasis up on the top there. And then if Cape Stout had been built when this picture was taken, it would have been right there. So nothing is very far. We often get groups that you rent multiple estates and move around and host different parties and stuff. And so private island experience as far as getting more than one estate is always an option as well. Quick nod to the fact that our marketing is pretty new. Like I said, I'm only like 30 days old. And so we're working diligently to put together shared folders to get Dominique a lot of the information that you would need. This is an example of that, just being able to show your clients how far the estates are from each other. These show the hiking maps that are available because everybody loves to hike around the island in the mornings. We're working on our fact sheets. These are just kind of bullet point references that help you remember which estate is which and what are the big key features. But again, feel free to come to me for your matchmaking needs. We have our rates 2024 and 2025 set. The way that it works is 3-night, 5-suite minimum. So whatever estate you want, it's always the same price at a base level of that 3-night minimum and 5 suites. And then however many suites you want to add on, that's at a per night per suite basis, including the bunk rooms. So it's a little bit of math. If you ever need help with those rates, you let me know. Because of Dominique and being a part of this wonderful group of people here, we're offering 15% commission, and we hope you'll take us up on that. We've got our terms, conditions, contracts, all that stuff in there, pictures, videos, ready to share with you, even social reels and stuff like that, so that you can show your clients what we're all about. And that is me having talked as much as I can in a short period of time. I hope you enjoyed, and do you have any questions?
You did wonderful. Huh? Especially I was there myself in November. I didn't see Cape Stout, but I saw the rest. But the way you describe it, I mean, you can tell you spend more time. But I did sleep in the same bedroom at Oasis in the primary room.
Yes.
So I know exactly the feeling, and it was like, wow. Now, everything was wow, but you really described very well which villa, which estate is more for what. I think you did that very well. Huh? So your knowledge is amazing, and it's great. If people want to meet you, you are on our meeting platform, www.letsconnect365. If you wanted Shalane to meet your clients directly, you can set up a 15 minutes Zoom meeting on that platform to speak to her or about your clients or bring your clients in. Huh? but I think this is quite exceptional. Huh? We all agree. And I like the fact that you don't force anyone to get 11 suite, because there is maybe not a need for 11, and you have a price from 5, which is a reasonable number. Huh? So let's look at the questions. The first one is not a question. Ami say, I find these properties to be the most heaven on earth. Wow. Right.
I couldn't agree more.
Janine is going to be on our boat in North Sound on April 18 to 21. Any opportunity of tours? Huh?
Absolutely.
Voilà, we have our cell number, we have everything. I took a picture, so you can set up a little site inspection. Laura, what is the minimum and maximum of people per group, family for any of these estates?
So that's where that 5 suite minimum would come in. Typically looking at double occupancy, that's 10 people for 3 nights. Now, having said that, that's the minimum from a spend perspective. So if it was a smaller group, that's just, they would just pay for that extra suite in order to have that whole space. But we did grade it the way that Dominique said, so that it is for smaller groups as well if needed. The thing to note is that it's made for big groups, and so it's not necessarily a honeymoon destination, even though some of those primary suites are incredible.
Yeah, but also if clients were staying somewhere else or on another estate, you allowed in each estate much more than the 20 guests or the 50. Huh? I think you can go up to 70 guests if it was a party. Huh?
Correct. That's 70 adults. That's not including the bunks. And so if you take all of our estates, that's 70 adults. And then when you add in the bunk rooms and the second rooms and stuff, the capacity becomes actually quite even greater than that.
I think that's why it's great even for a small wedding, but not so small, but a nice. Also the night stay requirement, but you already mentioned it. Stephanie, the staff was amazing when this one managed by Virgin. Were you able to keep up a lot of the same staff? It's not where did you source the staff, and how are you guaranteeing quality of a very high level of service?
Oh, fantastic question. Well, to that, I would say, kind of going back to the beginning, these are privately owned homes. And so the staff, while Moskito trained and employed by the Moskito Homeowners Limited Group, they're actually kind of handpicked by the homeowners, and it's built on personal relationships. These homeowners are exceptional people in their own right. They have very high standards of service for their own lives. And so they've handpicked their estate managers, their hosts, their chefs. And so I think that that's probably the best guarantee that you have, is that your clients are being privy to what our homeowners, the way they treat themselves.
Mm-hmm. I was there too, and I thought the food, the staff and the service at Oasis, and I like the fact that you can change chef. One had a vegetarian, chef, the other one something else, and especially because you really don't have different restaurants on the island. But I had the feeling I had different restaurants coming to me.
So, exactly. Yeah. And the vegetarian, gluten-free, all of those options. I mean, we have different chefs with different specialties, and so they can kind of be matched to the group as well.
And if you have kosher requirement as well, you can under all this. Huh? Lauren, you're asking for a client that it's 4 bedroom. Is that possible? I guess he has to pay for 5. That's the minimum.
Typically, he has to pay for 5, but I'm also in the business.
Look at this.
So reach out.
You have a special deal right there. What is Shalene email address, please? Teresa, Shalene will be sending an email to all of you, including the recording and the presentation and everything. Yeah?
Our domain is moskito.com. And so my email is shailene@moskito.com.
Ami said, fantastic presentation. I agree, Ami. I was because you're so passionate, and you really capture very well. I can, Susan, how can I get the printed information? That will be sent also to you via email with a recording. Tom want to say if it's still a Virgin Limited property.
So no, actually it's not. That's probably the biggest change, and that's why you have me today instead of somebody from Virgin. We are still sharing the same island as Virgin, but these 4 homeowners decided to branch out and get a little bit more dedicated from a sales and marketing perspective. And so, yeah, not under the VLE umbrella anymore. Voilà. I'm your girl.
Hello. They're with you and they're with us.
Exactly. Yeah, me and Dominique, we're the new VLE.
Jill, yes, the rates include food and beverage. She said amazing estates. I think so. I mean, I've seen the price range and everything for what you're getting.
I think that's really important to note. So I used to work out Oil Nut Bay in the area, right? And those are extraordinary villas as well. It's not an all-inclusive platform. We have other competition or amazing neighbors, I should say, in the area that when you go, the base rate can look much more appealing or at a lower price point. But when you factor in that, like, the airport transfers are included, all the food and beverage is included for the entire week. I mean, it really does kind of come out at a very reasonable place.
Yes, I think so. Lorna, she said she had to turn in late. Will this be? Yes, it is recorded. She's most curious to know about Moskito, so you will receive your recording. Shelton, literally heaven on earth, this place. Yes. Julie, how many villa, how many estate on the island? I understand that you're marketing 4 of them.
Correct. Yeah. So you actually have 8 estates on the island. Some of the homeowners opted not to rent their homes out, and they just maintain that privately.
Yes, and if one day they decide, then they will join you, basically.
Correct.
Voilà. Suzanne, the food, there is no cost for the food and the chef. It's included. And you can
the only
find
extras you're going to be looking at really is if there's big events where if you wanted like fire dancers or entertainment to come in, but everything's standard as far as all the meals and the group occasions and everything that you saw in the pictures, that's all included in the rates.
Well, and even the village with the party, the music and everything, the
yeah.
nightclub, it's already there.
DJ, that's a little extra, but
but that's why, as you said, it's very good to exactly define what type of clients you will have where, to make sure they have the right estates. Huh?
Exactly.
And I personally, I'm sure there are people who want a direct beach access, but then you have it. And
yes.
so, huh?
Yeah, definitely in Cape Stout and in La Pointe.
Bobby said, amazing property, great presentation. Laura, absolutely wonderfully done. I agree, Laura. You did a great job, Shailene. For your first webinar, wow.
Yeah. Thanks for being with me, guys. I appreciate it.
Look at Caroline. Good job, Shailene. I love your energy presenting the place. Me too. You even make me cry at the beginning. I didn't expect. I didn't expect what you said, and I think it was so right, because time together, you're maybe we are helping people all together.
Absolutely.
Memories forever, experience forever, and yeah, I was another way to save life in a way.
Our purpose.
Yeah. So Ami, Shailene, tell Sarah Moore from All Nuts I say hello.
Oh, hi. Yay. Okay, I will.
So I'm at the airport a few weeks ago, leaving Bay Harbor. Small world.
Yeah, it is. Michigan, definitely.
And Suzanne said, yes, great presentation. Voilà. So I don't see any more questions or wonderful comments. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. So remember, this recording will be also, in case you lose email after a while, all the recording of the webinar on our Dominique Debay Collection YouTube channel. And you can have a private meeting with Shailene on www.letsconnect365.com. Voilà. All right. Thank you very much, Shailene. Bravo. Everyone, have a good rest of the day, and thank you for your time and interest. Bye-bye.
Thank you.